guys, and welcome to my channel. In this video I'm going to share with you my 26 to 34 week pregnancy update. I can't believe I got so far behind on pregnancy updates and I absolutely feel horrible about it, but that's where I am. I'm 34 weeks now. I'm right at the end of my 34th week. But right now at the end of 34 weeks, the baby is about the size of a cantaloupe, which is huge and exciting. And it's starting to see color, although in your body, what I read is that they basically just see red at this point. But that is still pretty neat that their eyes are that developed at this gestational period. My weight right now at the end of 34 weeks is 208, which is the total pregnancy weight gain for me of 28 pounds. It's pretty much on track where I was with my first pregnancy, maybe a little bit more, but I'm definitely not working out like I was during my first pregnancy, so I feel like that's probably why I have gained a little more weight. I think it's funny because when I first got pregnant, I really wanted to only gain around 25 pounds because I figured it would be easier, you know, at the end of pregnancy to get back to my normal weight and body. But then I also don't know how I forgot that when you're pregnant, you can totally eat, do everything like you normally do, and you are still going to gain weight. You know, people talk about the extra calories, and I know I've talked about this before, but I don't need to eat any extra calories. When I eat like I normally would at my regular starting weight, I just gain weight, and that's what happens to my body during pregnancy. So if I do have another pregnancy, I'm excited to look back on this video and remind myself of that, because it's something I guess I just forgot about until I got further along, especially toward the second half and in this period of my pregnancy, because, or really any pregnancy, it's when people typically start gaining more weight. So it's something that I've definitely come to realize more now. The next thing I'm going to talk about are maternity clothes. I'm definitely in maternity clothes. I'm still wearing some shirts that aren't maternity, like t-shirts, but slowly but surely those are not reaching the bottom of my stomach, so not gonna be able to wear those for much longer. The next thing I'm gonna talk about is symptoms, and one is being really hot and then cold, and I'm seriously like, I am burning up right now. I want to fan myself for a second. I'm probably really sweating, but it's whatever. So getting into my actual real symptoms, one has been the relaxin hormone. It is here with a vengeance, and I remember this from my first pregnancy. Literally walking and like feeling like my pelvis and my other joints are just coming loose, like my hips are coming loose when I'm walking. I've even started noticing it when I'm standing now. I just suddenly will, like, I'll feel it kind of loosen, and I have to like kind of brace myself because it doesn't necessarily hurt. It might hurt just like a little bit, but it's just the strangest feeling when you like lose that control of that joint, I guess it is. It's just so crazy. And some days I don't feel it or experience it at all, and other days it is just like constant that I'm feeling it. So that's been really crazy. Another symptom I've been having have been leg cramps. I was wearing compression socks for my leg cramps, but then I stopped wearing them because they weren't as bad, and then for a couple weeks it was fine, and then they came back like crazy. I had the worst leg cramp that I could not walk out. Like, I walked all up and down the hallway by my bedroom, and I could not get that leg cramp to go away, and it hurt so bad. And I felt really bad for my dog because she was there with me. It was the night that my husband was at work, so he wasn't at home, but because I literally like jump up out of bed during the middle of the night, and I'm like, oh my god, and it hurts so bad. You can explain to a human to be expecting that, but you can't explain that to your dog. So if you get leg cramps and hop out of bed in the middle of the night, your dog freaks out, it can happen to you. I have though started wearing my compression socks again every day, very religiously, because I don't want to get back into that leg cramp situation, and I have been getting better with it. It's been feeling better. I haven't had as many cramps, and they certainly haven't been as bad as that one horrible one was. So I'm going to keep wearing those and hopefully not experience that. Another symptom that I didn't write down but I'm thinking about right now, just filming this, is that I am so out of breath, and I feel like baby is very high, which is probably why I'm feeling so out of breath. I was at work the other day and I had gone to the other side of the building, and then I walked over to my boss's office to talk to him, and I was seriously, I'm like, hold on a minute, like I gotta take a breath and then talk, or if I talk too much at one time, I run out of breath. I'm looking forward to when little baby drops, so hopefully I'll have more room in my lungs and be able to breathe better, but definitely out of breath. Mostly when I try to talk. If I'm just walking, it's easy enough to breathe and think about breathing, but when you're talking to somebody, it's harder to take those different breathing breaths, especially if you have a lot to say. So that's something I've definitely noticed. Over these weeks too, baby has been having really strong jabs, and I especially feel it in my upper rib area, so I guess it's close to where the top of my uterus is. Where it is specifically, I'm pretty sure that it's feet, and we did a 3D ultrasound, which was really fun and exciting, and that is where his feet were at the time. So it was funny because she was like, yeah, he's probably just jabbing you with his feet right there. When we did this 3D ultrasound with the second baby, I asked a lot more questions about his positioning and where he was. He had his face up against my stomach where my placenta is, so it was kind of hard for them to try to get a view of his face. But I remember thinking, like, feeling different parts. I wonder if this is a foot. I think this is like his butt or his leg or something, or part of his back. And it was neat getting to talk to them and have them show you, like, yeah, like that is where his butt is. He's sitting like this, and have them show you all the different areas where the baby is. And I really liked that, as opposed to an ultrasound just at your doctor, because they really don't tell you very much. I mean, I asked a lot of questions about, oh, like, where is his head and where is this and where is that? When you do the elective ultrasounds, I feel that, you know, you're the customer there, so they want to like share everything with you and make sure that you're happy and that they answer everything. And with a doctor, it's more of just procedural, so they're looking for what they're looking for, and that's about it. So I was really glad that we got to do a 3D ultrasound and see all of that. Another symptom that I've had over this time period, especially toward the end, 30 weeks and on, has been heartburn. And some days I don't get any heartburn, even if I eat things that are spicy. And other days I get a ton of heartburn from basically drinking water. So it's like hit or miss. There's not one thing that causes it, but I've definitely been having a lot of Tums with heartburn. Again, another reason I'm excited for when he finally drops, because hopefully then it won't be as bad. I'm also really tired and exhausted, and I think that just comes with this time period in pregnancy, and we've had so much going on and to do, you know, hence all of these weeks combined together. I'm also really trying to get everything ready. You know, before I thought, oh, there's plenty of time to do this and do that and paint the nursery and decorate the nursery and do this, and now I have a whole list of things to do, and it's like crunch time, because I don't know why, but I keep thinking that he's going to be early. I felt like that with my first son, and he actually went past his due date, so maybe I'm just being crazy. But if that's happened to you, let me know, tell me down below. And if you felt that way, if your child actually was born early, I would be interested in knowing that, because I just have this feeling. A lot of times when I have like suspicions or feelings are typically correct, but it has not proven true with babies and when they're going to be born. So we'll have to see with that one. So my next question is cravings, and I did have a couple weeks in a row where I was really craving fried foods. I also had a week where I was craving broccoli, and I wanted it cooked a certain way. I wanted it to still be crunchy but somewhat baked on the outside, so I was baking a lot of broccoli. My next question is about aversions, and I guess this is really hitting me more so when I'm at work, because I have coworkers who are heating up all kinds of different foods, but one day someone was heating up fish, and I don't know what kind of fish it was, but it was not just your typical fishy smell. It was really strong, and it was so disgusting. It made me feel so sick and gross, and like I was gonna throw up. So I had to get away from that smell for a while, but it was really making me nauseous. and that was 2 weeks ago. And I think it's funny now, when a smell is really grossing me out, it doesn't just gross me out, or it's not just an aversion really, it seriously makes me feel like I'm going to barf. My next question is gender, and we already know we're having another boy. And my next is labor signs. Haven't had any of that. And this is one that I haven't talked about before, and I wanted to throw in there when it was actually applicable. So at this point, especially the 3rd trimester, I feel like labor signs would be something more applicable than earlier in a pregnancy. But along with that, I will say I have had a ton of discharge, especially over these weeks, which if you haven't been pregnant before, if you are coming up on this part of your pregnancy or even earlier, discharge is it just happens. It's gross. You're gonna have to wear panty liners, but it's gross. So I have noticed that I've had discharge that has been a little bit more liquidy, not like water, but it freaks me out because with my first pregnancy, I had amniotic fluid leaking for almost a week before my OB like caught it and took it seriously and tested it and found out it was actually fluid and that had been leaking for a while. So I'm a little bit paranoid with that. My next question is about what I missed, and that would definitely be not carrying around so much weight and pressure in my pelvis. I just feel I'm not super clumsy, but I'm just not as imbalanced as I used to be, and I need to start doing my prenatal yoga again. I know it's probably what some people are gonna suggest. I kind of already got into this, but what I'm looking forward to, we are doing my maternity photos, and we actually moved them back because my stomach wasn't that big before, so I feel like I just kind of looked large and I didn't really look pregnant yet. My next question is about milestones, and I'm not aware of any in this time period except for getting into the 3rd trimester. So that 3rd trimester milestone, that would be in my week period for which I am filming now. Next, I'm going to show you my bump. So here's my bump from the front. Side. Definitely popping out. Other side. It's crazy. Oh, and also I forgot to put on for symptoms that my linea nigra is definitely back. But I guess it never goes away, is what people have said. They say that it just fades when you're not pregnant anymore, but I had it in my first pregnancy and it's definitely there again. I definitely plan on vlogging my birth and then also sharing what to expect after birth and then life with a newborn. So if you're gonna be having a baby soon, I'd love if you consider subscribing and joining me along on this journey. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.